Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It is Thursday, May 16th.
Yep.
And here goes May, marching right along.
I know,
Halfway
we're
through May.
more than halfway through May now. I know.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So we are a knitting, crocheting, yarn, sometimes spinning, fiber-related podcast. And we're coming to you from our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, where you can find all of these fantastic things. And we are out on social media all over the place as Must Love Yarn. So feel free to follow us on Instagram, like our page on Facebook, come join our awesome Ravelry group, and come hang out. Follow our fun hashtags, Must Love Yarn Podcast, MLY, Meerkat. Stay tuned for the outtakes if that doesn't make any sense to you.
I know. People come in the store and they see the stuff from Meerkat and they're like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a long story.
But
here's the nutshell.
Here's the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm Angela.
I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
And feel free to follow or friend us on either of those platforms.
Yep.
And you can see all of the various shenanigans, including my mini sad story about mohair in the outtakes. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the carnage yesterday. Yeah. Super fun. Yeah. So we like to start our podcast. I feel like we've been talking forever because we have so much outtake.
You have. I've been like sitting over here
just
nodding. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yep, I've heard all of this by text already. So we like to start our podcast with our pick of the week.
We do.
And so the way that works is we're going to show you a yarn and some pattern suggestions. And for all of our in-stock, two baskets worth. Whoa. For the next 2 weeks with the coupon code that we'll give you, you can get 10% off in our online store or in-store if you come in person. Just if you're in-store, just remind us it was a pick because we try to keep track of them, but I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday morning, so remembering what a pick is.
Jen made fun little signs for our picks of the week.
Oh, cool. Oh, right, to put up over the... Nice.
And so we hopefully, if we remember, we'll have the little markers around on the yarn. So if you're just popping in and shopping with us, keep an eye out for those. Too.
Yep. So, and if you have any questions about how the coupon code works in the online store, we did a tutorial in episode 73. It's right at the beginning, so you don't have to watch very far. If you're curious as to how that works. So,
and if you have any questions, always feel free to send us a message too before you place your order.
Yep. Because occasionally we have a small snafu with the... Yeah. We're usually pretty good. A couple weeks ago we had a
little glitch.
But we've pretty much sorted out all the big... Anyway. Till there's a new update with our system and then whatever.
But unfortunately, you can only use one coupon code
at a time
per order. So if you wanted something from last week's and this week's, you have to do 2 separate orders if you want that to get applied.
Yep.
Our system won't let us.
Could they email us and we could generate an invoice to send to them to pay? Or is that too much work? That's too much work.
It won't allow us to do
the coupon code.
Yeah, the discount on the separate things. You can only if we do it.
Okay.
Through the online one.
Okay.
I'll play around with it.
Okay. Stand by. Don't do that because we don't know if it will work. But we'll see. We'll try a few other things and see if we can. Because I know sometimes if there's 2 weeks in a row, people are like, ooh, and then they have to put 2 orders. But anyway, it's if you go back a couple of years ago, you'll find out why and how we found out you can't use more than one coupon code at a time. It's a learning curve. So anyway, what's our pick of the week this week, Kel?
Our pick of the week
Because it looks like you're all ready.
I am. Here, I'll hand you this one.
Excellent.
Is Juniper Moon Farm Zoe.
Ooh.
And look at all these colors that we've got.
Oh my gosh.
So many great colors.
So fun. This one
I know, isn't that great?
Awesome.
I love the one that's next to it too.
Yeah.
That's we had a customer do a sweater in this, and it was so pretty.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and I forgot to bring the sample over. We've got a cute little tank top knit up in that blue color.
This blue one. Yep.
So there's a lot of pattern support that they did for the Zoe too. So, and they're all patterns by Juniper Moon Farm, and I think most of these are on Ravelry. Actually, I think all of them are. So you can check them out there. You can also, if you want a hard copy pattern, you can get it through us. I did put the link in show notes for these, so you can take a look at these. But there are some really cute, just kind of simple, basic patterns for summer tops. There's some cute little cardigans, which would be really nice to have in the summer in the cool evenings, if you're like where we are, where sometimes you get cooler evenings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
I like that one.
Yeah, there's some really, they do some really nice pattern supports. There's a little wrap sweater, a little kind of lacy camisole top. So, yeah, so there's a bunch of them. So feel free to peruse those. And like I said, you know, you can get these through Ravelry. I think most of their patterns are $6 that they have, or you can find all the details on Ravelry and then just order a hard copy pattern that we'll send with you with your yarn order. The other one that I wanted to point out is a free pattern, and it's by Espace Tricot, and Espace Tricot they do such a great job with their patterns. Beautiful. And I think most, if not all, of their patterns that they release are free too. They're really lovely. But they did this really cute 3/4 sleeve, kind of just a pullover, but it's really sweet. This picture's a little bit hard to see, but this is a free pattern on Ravelry. So there's the name Leger Redux. So they did another one that was made out of a different yarn. So check this pattern out too if you're looking for it. It'd be a great summer piece, transitional spring piece, and they do really lovely classic patterns. So I just thought I would show you guys that one as an option too. And the size range on this pattern is fantastic. It goes from the finished measurement chest circumference goes from a 38 inch all the way up to a 58 inch.
Wow.
So it's a really good size range, which is great. I really appreciate that on this. So anywhere from 4 to 8 skeins or balls of yarn for this, and it's 2 colors if you want to do the striping. If not, obviously that's your choice. Yeah.
And what is it skein retail for?
I believe they're 15, I want to say.
Sounds right. $14.99, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yep. So just a really lovely yarn. It's a cotton. Let me give you the other details. It's a cotton linen blend, 60% cotton, 40% linen. So it's a little bit softer to work with than just 100% linen. But it gets really soft. The more you wash it, the softer it's gonna get. So that's really nice. They're 100 gram skeins. They're 284 yards, and it is a DK.
So you know what pattern? I was just looking at a pattern this morning on Ravelry, and I was thinking, I wonder what yarn we have in the store that this would go well with. It's called the Bridge of Gods. So it's for DK weight. So that is the pattern. It's just a cute little pullover top with some nice lace detail. That pattern is called Bridge of the Gods.
We'll have to link that in show notes.
Yeah, it's got a nice little high-low hem as well, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's really cute.
So
yeah. But look at all those colors.
Man.
Great colors.
Yeah.
Really, really nice colors. They did a really nice job in it. And because it's the cotton and the linen, you can see a little bit of they left kind of some natural color of the linen. See, there's some, almost like a heathering that happens with that. And it's really, really pretty. And it's kind of a little bit of a thick and thin, so you'll get a little bit of a slubby effect, but not a ton. But yeah, these colors are just
it's
really
phenomenal.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So weekly pick Zoe.
Works for me.
Okay, and Zoe, and Angel put those at the bottom, but Zooey.
Mm-hmm. Weekly pick Zoe.
Yep. Cool.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So what you wearing this week, Kelly?
I am wearing my FO.
Yay!
I know. So you guys saw me starting this last week.
It's amazing.
And this is Earthshine by Hillary Smith Callis. And did I say her name in the right order? I think so. Yes. Because she's got, the
multiple names.
Yeah,
multiple
3
names.
And I'm always afraid I'm gonna switch them, or you guys would probably know who I meant still, but and the yarn is Wing and a Prayer Farm. It's her Taconic Twist, and this was dyed with madder, naturally dyed with madder, and then this is madder exhaust. So yeah, it's done.
So did you have to break into the second skein of the madder exhaust?
Nope. So just 1 skein of each. Those were, I think they're 260 yard skeins, and it's a DK, and it took less than a full skein of both.
Awesome.
So I probably took about 3/4, maybe a little bit more of a skein of each one. So it's a great project to do if you've got a DK or a light worsted, and you've got 2 skeins that go together, or I've seen there's a lot of them where people just did like a gradient skein for the whole thing, so they just put the garter ridges in for some texture.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've seen some that where they used a solid and then a light variegated or a speckle or something, and those were really lovely too. So you can do a lot with it, and I knit it in less than a week. So
I have a couple skeins of Silkworm Studio DK that I picked up at the Trek Show a few weeks ago.
Nice.
That I was gonna find something to knit with. Mm-hmm. Might be a good option.
Yeah, and this is one of those cowls that I really like because you can wear it more like a shawl. You can wear it, I can turn this and have it, because in the back, I'll take it off so you guys can see. So you start it actually like a crescent shawl, and you start there, and so you work flat for a little while, and then you join it, and then so you can see that's higher than the other part. And then you join it at this point, so then you knit in the round from here down, and so it kind of acts kind of like both a cowl and a shawl at the same time. So it's really wearable. I've been really enjoying these pieces that I've been making that are like this, where it's kind of a shawl that's been joined. So. Because there's no fuss, you don't have to worry about them falling off, or
they're easier to style sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't have those weird long dangly ends that are hanging down in front of you, but it's too hot to wrap it a few more times around your neck.
Yeah. Because I will almost always just drag those through something while I'm making dinner if I forget to take my shawl off, or my dog will run up and grab an end. I'm like, no!
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, and she doesn't do it. She's a sleeve grabber. So when I get home, she's so excited that she usually runs over and grabs my sleeve. But sometimes if I bend down, my shawl might be the first thing she sees to grab.
Right.
And it's really cute and endearing, at the
same time.
And she doesn't really mean to cause any damage or hurt anything, but she just does it. So,
she's just excited to see you.
Yeah, she is. It's really cute. So that's done.
Nice.
I think I have to, when I blocked it, I pinned it out pretty good because I wanted to really open up the garter areas, but I ended up with little points because I blocked it fairly flat. So I'm just going to wet these a little bit so that I don't have these points here. But most of the time, the way I'm wearing it, I just kind of tuck them under and you don't even notice them anyway. So it's not too bad, but...
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So...
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really, it's fun.
I finished Not a Thing.
Well, You had some issues to work through.
I had a few issues to work through. I was this close, guys, to finishing my change of shawl. And in fact, I brought it. I'll show you guys. It's massive.
That's so cool. I should pick mine up now.
It's massive.
Oh my gosh, it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look
So,
at that.
I have a whole bunch of ends to weave in, but
I love this like bright minty green that's really popping.
Isn't it
it's
fun?
so fun.
I am 2 color changes away in this section from finishing.
So close.
Yep. And why didn't I finish, you ask? Because this is how much of the main color yarn I have left.
So it was Indie Dyers to the rescue for Angela.
Holy smokes.
This week.
I can't even believe this, you guys. So this main color and half of the colors of the mini skeins are from a kit that Hugh Loco put together 3 years ago now, I think. No, it was the year that I came down on the bus. 3 years ago maybe. For Indie Untangled. And the kit was meant to be used for the Surprise Party Shawl by Helen Stewart. But when I saw this shawl released and started looking through my stash, I went, oh my gosh, that yarn would work perfectly. I can supplement in 5 mini skeins. I've got 2 full skeins of yarn in the main color that meet the yardage requirements for the pattern. I'm fine. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And I ran out. So I got in touch with Nicole, who is the dyer behind Hugh Loco, and simply asked her a question if she had any, not expecting her to have the main colorway because it was a special kit colorway. But also followed it up with if you don't have any, can you recommend another of your colorways that's close enough? Because this type of shawl, as long as it was still in the same sort of color palette tone, it's not going to be overly noticeable. Like,
you're not doing that big square anymore. You know, if you had run out in the middle of that part, then it would be noticeable. But where you are,
it's right on the edge. It's intermixed with other colors. So it would have worked. I mean, would you have been able to enter it in like a contest? No, if it was laid out, you would be able to see like what happened right here. But it's not going to be that noticeable when you're wearing it. But amazingly, she found a skein of that yarn and allowed me to purchase it so I could finish my project. That's so awesome. I'm so very grateful to her. And it's just sort of the power of the community, and I think sometimes also asking nicely and acknowledging that it's a long shot.
And they know how, I mean, they're knitters, you know. Yeah. Most of the dyers that are out there are knitters too. Yeah. And they know, they've been there. They know what it's like to run out of yarn.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they can help somebody out, I'm sure they are just thrilled to be able to.
So that was amazing. And I would, like I said, I would have been happy with just a suggestion for a substitute colorway, and was basically prepared to do that. Because that's what I figured.
That's so great.
So yay, kudos. So as soon as that gets here, I can finish that project. And then still have most of a full skein of that main color again to do something else with. It's so beautiful.
It is really pretty. That's awesome.
So I was telling Kelly, it was like this whole week of like, kick Ange on a knitting project. Oh, surprise! Kick Ange. Surprise! Good news. So anyway. Yay me.
And the week's almost over with.
I know.
Thank goodness.
Well, it's Friday. It's probably for the best. I might be taking a hip flask to my kids' baseball game.
If you do that, just make sure you take an easy knitting project.
Oh, yeah. I will be wrangling dog and kids and other child and things. So unfortunately, usually not a lot of knitting at baseball games.
No. Not right now.
Not right now.
Once they get a little older.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So I worked on that. Change a shawl till that yarn issue happened. Blackberry shawl, stay for the outtakes if you haven't heard what happened to that. So that one's been on hiatus all week since last Friday. I started the granny's favorite sweater for Abigail.
Did you?
I did. Haven't had any issues with that yet. Give it time.
Oh dear.
So this is, let me find a page that doesn't have stuff on it. So this is a Georgie Hallam pattern. It's a very cute, just little pullover girl sweater. One of the great things about her patterns is she has such a wide range of sizes. So this particular pattern goes from newborn size all the way up to 12 years. So it's a very wide range of sizes. So I am knitting this out of Kingdom Fleece and Fiberworks. It's her DK weight yarn. This is the exact same colorway, if it looks familiar, to the yarn I'm knitting the Blackberry shawl out of, because somebody was watching me edit the podcast and said they wanted a pink sweater, and I held up that yarn and she goes, I want that yarn.
You're gonna have mommy and bee outfits.
Kind of, yeah.
But it'll be like enough of a twist that it'll be cute.
Yep. Shawl and sweater. So anyway, so I'm that far.
You could do like birthday pictures with them on or something.
I know, wouldn't that be cute?
That'd be really cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So a little bit of progress. I cast this on, not last night, the night before maybe. So this had become my upstairs at night knitting project.
Oh,
so it's got this cute little pattern at the top. So it's top down sweater. I have not started alternating skeins yet. I will as soon as I get through the lace pattern. I don't like to alternate skeins through lace.
Well, it's a small enough around right now, and you're doing rows. You're not. Is it a cardigan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did have a debate looking at the yardage requirements as to whether I was going to have to alternate skeins, whether I could get the entire body out of one skein of yarn. I'm not sure that I can, because I'm going to add some length to it, because both of my children are relatively long-bodied. So I think I will, once I get done with the lace panels, I'll alternate skeins, which is always a good idea with hand-dyed yarn, because even no matter how good the designer or the dyer is, there's just enough variation. You could get some kind of wonky colors if you don't do that. The other solution is to meld the skeins together gradually as you start to run out of one, which might be what I do with hers. We'll see. The skeins look pretty closely colored.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. I'm sure whatever decision I make will have some funny story for you guys, so don't worry. It just seems to be the way it's going right now.
Well, you've been very busy, and I have not been very busy.
I've been just...
You have lots of entertaining things to do.
Yes.
I pretty much have done Earthshine. This is pretty much what I worked on nonstop since last week. And I really haven't touched my Libertas cardigan that much. I had started the sleeve last time, and I'm still on that same sleeve, and I'm a little further along now, but now that I'm done, I needed just kind of a quick project just to get something done, although this has been really quick too.
Yeah.
So I should have this done hopefully for next time.
Nice.
So
Nice.
But I still have to decide what length sleeve because it's kind of like a 3/4 length sleeve. So I have to decide if I'm going to do 3/4 or full sleeve.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of boring. I don't have a whole
Well,
lot.
I would say you actually have a finished object. I have 2 disasters and a bunch of half-done objects that are on somewhat hiatus because I've been waiting for yarn to arrive. But I did, that could be bad. Where'd that crochet hook go? It's down there somewhere. Boy. So I had a bunch of yarn. So you guys, you all know, well, if you're new to the podcast, I had some crochet issues a few weeks ago, like last week and the week before. Anyway, so I had so much yarn left over from the humpback whale cowl that was not its real name. It's a granny cowl. I decided to actually do a proper one for a small person.
Aww.
Oh, actually, this has some funny stuff with it too.
Oh,
it's been one thing after another, guys. So this is what it should look like. There's no humpback whaleness going on with this one because the pattern, let me be clear for the record, the pattern is not wrong. The pattern is correct. If you read the pattern and follow the directions, the pattern is fine. So this is
know what a half double crochet and a crochet and double crochet.
Know the difference between a half double crochet and double crochet. That is correct. Except I might have joined that upside down. I think
it doesn't matter.
It will be fine.
You're fine.
So I just thought that it might be fun to knit Abigail her own version of the cowl.
Cute.
Yes, super cute.
Now you really can be matchy-matchy.
I gave the other one was a Mother's Day present for my mom.
Well, never mind.
I didn't want to talk about on the podcast because she watches.
Right. So she's the proud owner of the humpback.
She got the humpback whale cowl.
So now she can be a Grammy and me.
Yes, it'll be fun. So if you have kids, you know this, and I should know this because I have 2 kids. Kids have very large heads.
Yes, I do.
And very tiny necks.
Yes, I do.
So when I took said cowl and measured it around my daughter's neck, I was like, oh, look, it's big enough. I can join it in the round. And yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I crocheted just a couple of rows with it in the round. And I was like, hey, because I was kind of looking, I was like, And finally I was like, hey, Abigail, come over here. Can I try this on real quick? Yeah, it was. And she's like, it's not fitting. I'm like, yep, you were right. Luckily, I personally think crochet is much easier to rip out than knitting. So I had to rip out the few rounds that I had done in the round and add about, I think, 5 more repeats to get it. And I'm still not entirely convinced that that's big enough to fit over her head, but I think it'll be close enough to where you can just tug it and it will go. Because it's cotton, so it doesn't give. It's not stretchy at all. No. So it's been a whole week of just nonstop silly shenanigans. Whatever that's all about. So I have like this much yarn left, so I'm just gonna go in the round until I am out.
That's so cute.
Isn't it cute? So this is what it's actually supposed to look like when you do the double crochets instead of the half double crochets. My mom crochets a little bit, so she was like, she goes, do you need a book on how basic crochet stuff? And I was like, no, I have one. I don't know. And she goes, well, how did you discover that you were doing half double crochets? And I said, well, because at some point you get to the pattern and it tells you to do a half double crochet. And I hadn't done one yet. So I went to go look that up and went, that's interesting. That's what I've been doing the entire time. What is a double crochet?
That's so funny.
Yes. Fun times. But knowing the difference between the half double crochet and the crochet and the double crochet, the pattern made much more sense. And doing the double crochet the way it was supposed to, how you sort of turned and then made the next starting stitch actually made much more sense because it's harder. You can't do that very well in a half double crochet. Reading. Looking up stitches you don't know. Using the reference book that you bought for the purpose in which you bought the reference book for. Or the internet. All good ideas.
It's watching.
What? No.
Gage is with me on this one.
Oh yeah, we forgot to introduce Gage, our Meerkat, who is here, and we just didn't even introduce her. Poor Gage.
Andrea said that we should probably take her hat off, and I said I would crochet her a tube top, tank top.
I think you should. She probably
Halter
also
top.
needs like a sparkle skirt or something.
Sparkle skirt. You should do a ruffle skirt.
Ruffle skirt. I'm on it.
I don't think they make that stuff small enough.
I don't think so. It'd only take like one row. You could thread it through like a piece of elastic. I think I threw. I'm not sure if I have any of the ruffle yarn left. I'll have to look.
Gotcha.
I might have just thrown away the ends because I was like, I'm not using this for anything. I'll see. I think I might know where it is if I have it. I think. Stay tuned. Maybe Gage will get a ruffle skirt. Maybe not.
We could crochet her a little bikini for the summer.
Oh my god. Oh.
And a sun hat.
I will send a prize to anybody who makes Gage a summer outfit. Just saying. I have a lot of I have a huge stash. I'm happy to destash. Just saying. This is how we ended up with Pocket Meerkat in the first place.
Now Pocket Meerkat, well, real Meerkat.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a whole wardrobe.
A whole wardrobe. We're gonna have to buy her a special wardrobe chest.
A little trunk for
A
her.
little trunk for her. They do sell them at like AC Moore and places because I have one. You gave me one when Abigail was born.
Yep, the little elephant one.
Yeah, the little elephant one. Would work perfect. Help us fill Gage's hope chest.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. That is all. We should move along.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. So I have a couple of acquisitions this week.
Okay.
One was the mohair. I'm not even sure. Does it count? It counts. It totally counts.
Sorta.
Sort of.
It's a sorta acquisition.
But I can't remember. Did I show this stuff last week? I can't even remember.
No.
Okay.
No, I think you talked about it, but I don't think you showed it.
So I think it was in December, joined the Indie Untangled Where We Knit Club.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? The Where We Knit? I think so.
I think you're right.
And so it's four boxes over the course of the year. It's pattern, yarn, some other goodies. And the Distill hat was the first installment, and I've had a few people ask me, like, where can we get the pattern? You can't for about 6 months. I think there's 6 months before they release it to the public because it's a club, part of a club. So you will be able to get the Distill hat in a few months, and you'll be able to get this pattern that I'm going to show you in a few months. They're just not available for public purchase yet. So the next installment is actually a husband and wife team from Poland. So the wife designed the pattern and the husband designed and dyed the yarn.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So this is the pattern. It's called the Sweetest Berries. And it's, again, that pullover cowl type shawl looking patterns. It's really beautiful. I'm super excited to make it because I think it will be fun and very wearable.
Oh, she does great stuff.
Yeah, Justina Laraska. Yep. And so this is the yarn. I'm sorry, I haven't taken out of the plastic yet. That her husband dyed up to go with. And there was also some tucked woolens goodies in the bag as well. So if you're not familiar with Tuft Woolens, their things are amazing. There was some hand lotion bar and some lip balm. They were amazing.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited. It's got bubbles and fringes on it, and should be good.
Cute.
So that showed up. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was like flashing the chart there. Didn't mean to do that. So really pretty. The other yarn that showed up was I may or may not have bought some yarn on May the 4th.
You did mention that.
Yeah, with Star Wars. How could I say no? So this is from Must Stash Yarn. I will admit, for the longest time, I literally was like, why would somebody name their company Mustache Yarn? Because so many people referred to it like on podcasts and stuff, and they would run the two words together. And I did a search once for mustache yarn, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, yeah, like mustache. And I was like, okay, well, I guess, whatever floats your boat. I literally had to go to somebody's
That's really
show
funny.
Notes
Stash.
to be like, well, what is this yarn? Like, why can I not find it? And then when I saw that it was Must Stash Yarn, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much more sense.
And then, but she did a play on it with
Yeah.
mustache,
Yeah.
which was really cute.
Yes. So I bought 2 skeins of her Star Wars yarn. So May the 4th, if you're not a Star Wars fan, May the Force be with you, is a thing that Jedis say on Star Wars. So May the 4th has sort of turned into a de facto Star Wars holiday.
Of course it is, because people want to celebrate.
Why
stuff.
not?
Everything has its own day now, so.
I know.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Ooh. So this is the Ray colorway.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That goes with your changes shawl almost.
I know.
That's gorgeous.
I know. So her yarns are beautiful. She does self-striping yarns. Sorry, I'm crinkling. Just put that down. And so the other thing I wanted to show you, she did these packs. She closed up her packages with Star Wars washi tape.
Oh, that's so cute.
So the other skein that I got is...
Looks like a sandwich wrapped up in there.
I know, isn't it fun?
That's pretty.
Is this one. So this is called The Last Jedi.
Look at all the colors in there.
Yeah. And so the other thing that she does, if you're not familiar with her, is that these are matte. There's actually 2 skeins in here. So the 100-yard skein is split into half.
Nice.
And there's matching skeins. So when you wind them, you will end up with 2 matching socks, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing that she does. That's really neat. So I bought those 2. I thought I showed a huge amount of restraint with only buying 2 skeins of yarn. So those were my yarn purchases for Star Wars Day.
Excellent.
I may or may not have taken care of some birthday presents on some other sites. Just saying maybe. Yeah, so those were my couple of my acquisitions.
I did not acquire anything last week.
It's all right.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
I'm trying to hoe out my house.
Well, I have had those thoughts a few times when I've gone stash diving, that perhaps buying yarn should cease. And then I see a new project I want to make, and I'm like, ooh, I'll just get some yarn for that.
I emailed Carol or texted Carol something about the Great Purge of 2019. My house was a disaster. I'm just going through everything and trying to
Get rid of
There's
stuff.
just so much stuff that we've accumulated.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is we've moved enough times that you would think you would pare some stuff down, but we've been in our current house now for almost 10 years, and I'm like, where did all this stuff come from?
Yeah.
And I mean, some of it's lovely wedding gifts,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of it we don't use.
Yeah, I have some of that stuff.
And so I'm gonna find it good homes, but sometimes that's part of the problem. It's really nice stuff that I don't want to just
send to Goodwill or
just
take to Resource or something.
Just go to, that's going to get trashed or whatever, because it's really, it has value. And
right.
But, I want to make sure that,
Exactly.
So, I don't know. That's the stuff that's harder to, because then I'm like, oh, well, this, or you think of people who might like it, so you want to like ask them if it's something that they'd like. So then it just like gets folded and then like or folded and get put back in like a little closet somewhere, because I'm like, oh, I don't have time to do that now, but I'll get to that.
I'll get to it later.
So
exactly.
Yeah, but I do have a lot of stuff to donate to. And I'm just trying to simplify my life, because it just, decluttering my house lately has been decluttering my brain, which is good.
Well, yeah, it helps. Like if you have all of that clutter around, it's mental noise that you don't realize is there. And then when you get rid of it, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
It's so much calmer in here to look around.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was stressing me out.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it's not like our main living area is fine, but it's just, I know there's, we've got like our furnace room downstairs.
All the hidey holes are.
And I know that that's stuff that I just have to like sort through, because I've got stuff in there from like college and from when I was a kid, and
Yep. Exactly.
But anyway.
Exactly.
That was my derailing of acquisitions.
That's totally fine. Totally fine. We do have a few events coming up.
We do.
Fun events. Pretty excited. So June 8th is Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we are
It's just around the corner.
It's just around the corner. We are a Knit in Public location.
We are.
Woo!
And boy, has Andrea got some stuff planned for you.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be awesome. So we are going to be hosting what we are calling the Must Love Yarniad Games of 2019.
Yes.
And
something like that.
Yes.
We haven't, officially yet.
So the best I can tell you for right now is to watch social media for more details. But I have read the games proposal, and at best it will be hilarious and very fun. And I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
So
lots of knitting and eating and chatting as well.
Yeah. But also some fun shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because holy smokes. I can't wait.
I know.
It's going to be amazing.
I know.
So if you're local to us or you're going to be in town that weekend, come on by for Worldwide Knit in Public Day. June 8th.
Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be here this year. Last year I was out of the country.
Yeah.
So.
We held down the fort last year.
Yep. I saw pictures from it.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Looked like good weather too.
It was really nice weather.
A plus.
Who knows? We have the rain. We bring tents, like pop-up tents. So if it's kind of rainy, we'll just be under the tents. We'll be in the store.
We'll have to, pare down some of our games if it's really crummy.
Right.
But
the games must go on, regardless of the weather. So we have that. We also have the Great Northern Yarn Haul.
Yes. So this year, we're doing a fun kickoff party for the Great Northern Yarn Haul.
Sweet.
So we're going to do some food, some giveaways, and fun stuff on the evening of July 12th. Nice. We also have a great speaker who's going to come and it's about a 45-minute talk. She's a local Vermont artist.
Nice.
And she, so her name is Eve Jacobs Carnahan, and she started knitting many years ago and turned her love of knitting into mixed media art. So she's going to give a really great talk, and it's called Art Knitting, Creative Beginnings and Contemporary Directions. And we're going to be releasing more information about that very soon. I'm going to send out an email. We're going to have some social media posts and to give you a little bit more idea of what the talk is about. But it's very cool, and there'll be links to Eve's website too.
Nice.
She's going to be having, she's going to have her artwork in a local gallery in Burlington.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to be open at the same time as the yarn haul's going on. So we're going to have information. So if it's something that you're interested in seeing her work, you'll be able to, we'll have all the information here at the store so you can pick that information up, you know, if you're in the area for the yarn haul.
Cool.
So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. She does some really cool pieces. I was looking at her website at some of the pieces that she's done.
Nice. And we also have our Stitch and Pitch on July 27th, which is also during the yarn haul.
Yep.
So it's a Saturday night. It's also Star Wars night. I clearly was not involved in picking the date.
Nope, not at all.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, you know. It was super fun last year. We had it on Star Wars night.
That's right.
So, you know, fun times.
Yeah, so we'll have tickets probably
late June, usually.
End of June-ish.
When their season starts.
Yep. They've got a very short season here.
Yep. So just mark your calendars if it's something you're interested in going to, and as soon as we have tickets, we'll let everybody know.
Yep. And we always have plenty of tickets.
Yeah.
So
We have them. They reserve us. They're very generous with us.
Yeah.
And they reserve us a pretty substantial block
Yeah.
Of tickets, which we usually sell pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Pretty close to what they give us.
Yeah.
So, and I always feel bad for the ones that we don't sell because we let them know which ones we haven't sold, and then they release them the day of, and so inevitably there are some non-knitters completely surrounded by our like crazy group of knitters, and they're like, what is going on
Usually
here?
when I'm like handing out the tickets, I try to make sure that we're kind of like
blocked. Yeah.
all in the same block, so that if we have extra tickets, then they'll be like on the outskirts or at the, you know, up above or something, so that they're not like,
yeah,
there's not like two people in the middle, one or two
actually,
people.
that would be pretty funny.
Wouldn't that be funny? Maybe I should do that on purpose. Maybe like,
what is going on? Particularly when I start like flinging prizes around.
yeah, right. Yeah, Ange was flinging prizes last year. I think somebody, a non-knitter, got a T-shirt last year.
I know. I think you're right. I think it was one of those people that was sitting in the group, and I had bad aim, and they were like, okay, all right, if you want to throw a T-shirt at me, knock yourself out, lady. So yeah. And I think we have a couple of other things in the works for during the yarn haul. I just we're not ready to announce any of them yet. So stay tuned. We're trying to have some fun activities going on while that's happening, to just make it more of a draw for folks, and to have some stuff going on for our folks that are local to us.
Yep.
So so that's what we got. We got 2 knit along / crochet alongs going. I'm running the blackberry shawl along. So that started on the 15th. That was yesterday, but whips were allowed, so it was like, really, I don't even know why I put in a start date. Like, it was whatever. So if you'd already started the blackberry shawl, you're totally in. There were a couple of questions about the lace section of the pattern, and so take a look at the chatter thread for that. There was a couple of questions, and I think we've got that sorted out for folks.
And that's actually one of the people that had mentioned it actually, I think,
reached
talked
out
to the designer, and she was going to be updating that. So
yep. But she relayed in the chatter thread what the designer had said. So it's helpful if you were if you're in that section and you're sort of scratching your head like, not sure these directions are right. It's not quite working out. You're not incorrect. I just went with it and worked around it because that's what I do.
I'm just like, oh, it must be me. I'm doing something here.
I figured either my stitch count was off or I really wasn't that concerned about it. I was like, that's fine, whatever.
It'll all come out.
I don't need this last knit 2 together. I'll just knit a single stitch. It's totally fine. It's on the edge. It's not going to matter. It's not. So if you're feeling stuck, take a look at the chatter thread because there's some good information in there if you're in the lace section. It's a great... somebody did ask in there if we knew what the true yardage was for the fingering weight. We don't, because I haven't finished mine, so I don't know.
You might be able to ask the designer. She might be able to give you a good idea of exactly how much she used.
Yep. And, you know, the difficulty of the challenge is totally depending on your gauge. You might use more or less.
Yeah.
So there's that, too.
Unless you swatch.
Yeah, whatever. It's a shawl, Kelly.
I know. I don't usually swatch for my shawls either, unless I want it to be like a specific size.
Right. Well, and I think we had a bit of a discussion about if you only, because the discussion was, do you need 1 or 2 skeins of yarn for the fingering weight sections, and it wasn't clear how much of a second skein so one solution is if you buy 1 skein, when you start to run out, you run out, and you just, if you have to stop the pattern early, you stop the pattern early. That's one advantage of a shawl.
I mean, because that is a pretty significant
investment.
It is. So from, if you take that extra skein out, I mean, you could have like
a $30
$35 to $40 pattern project.
Yeah.
But if you have to add that extra one in, you could be 50 or more. So
right.
We totally get it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
and I'm not close to being done. I would have made much more progress on mine, but for the mohair incident of 2019. Again. I can't even call it the mohair incident of 2019 because there's been more than one. Apparently I should stop knitting with mohair. It's not going to happen.
Oh.
I like knitting with mohair. It's fun, and it's fuzzy.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's fun.
Fun and fuzzy.
So that's the blackberry along, and Kelly's running along.
I am. Mine is crochet along, and you can crochet whatever.
And what's your crochet along called?
The Angela's Not Allowed cowl. Because she was bad-mouthing in crochet. So
I was. Have you noticed I've had a lot of crochet projects lately?
I know. That's why she really is allowed, but we just have to, rub her a little.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
She was teasing me when she came up with that name, and I told her she should just use it because it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
It is really funny.
So
crochet started May 3rd and runs through July 3rd. Whips are fine. If you have small projects, just group a few small projects together, and you can enter those as one entry, but you can enter the crochet along as many times as you want.
I'm still looking for
crochet is so fast.
I'm still looking for Angry Stormtrooper. As soon as I find
maybe Ella ate him.
Actually, that I'm pretty sure has not happened. I'm pretty sure the Angry Stormtroopers at the bottom of one of the toy bins. I just have to figure out which one it's in.
As soon as you find an Angry Stormtrooper, one of your kids is going to be like, but I wanted to play with that.
It's mine.
And you're like, I just need it for
I'm
one
just
day.
Borrow it for one day. So as soon as I find Angry Stormtrooper, I will throw it up in the chatter thread so you can all see. Super fun.
That's great.
It's fun. Super fun.
Super fun.
Super fun. Wow, I made a giant mess over here.
You made a giant mess?
Well, considering that I only brought in like 12 bags.
Yeah, you did. Somebody, Pam says, wow, look at all those bags when Angela walked through the door.
Well, yeah, I needed to, anyway, it's what it is. You all know me. I have lots of bags.
I think most of us as knitters, we walk around with lots of bags. When I walk in, I have at least 2.
I have an
3 or 4.
excessive number of bags today.
Well, I usually have a big bag that has other little project bags stuffed in it, too.
Yeah. That's not counting the big bag with multiple project bags in it. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this without. Anyway, that's the whole other discussion because I'm going to have a full car, including the dog in the back. So I'm not really sure where all of these bags are going to go.
On people's laps.
Probably.
Here, you hold this one.
You hold this one. Yes. Yeah, I think that's. I was considering leaving. I might leave 1 or 2 of them here and pick them up tomorrow.
That's a doable thing.
Because the one with the change of shawl, I don't need that till the yarn shows up.
Until you get the yarn, so it can hang out.
It can totally hang out.
Yep.
Which is what I might do. Because then I can consolidate all the rest of these into one bag, I think.
Yep.
So, anyway, sorry. This long discussion that you didn't need to hear about me sorting out how I'm going to get all my stuff everywhere. But, anyway. So, I think I'm all done for today.
I think so. And she needs to go rest her voice.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything else either because I just, worked on like one thing this week, so it's kind of boring.
There you go. It's all right. I got us covered with all of my issues.
Thanks for taking care of that for me.
Yarn-related issues.
Maybe next week I'll take care of it.
Because Kelly swatches.
That has nothing to do with happened with anything that you did. Well, except for maybe a change of shawl, but
maybe. I don't know what. Anyway, that one's a mystery. I don't know.
yeah.
Whatever. I got super lucky. They had extra skein of yarn.
I know.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle.
It's a knitting miracle. That might have to be the title of this podcast. It's a yarn miracle. So anyway.
Cool.
Well, I hope everybody has a nice weekend. And you...
There's lots of graduations right
Yeah.
here. UVM is this weekend.
Yep. And I hope you have a lot of time to knit or crochet and relax.
Right?
Yeah. So till next week.
Yeah, next week. Next week's go.
To go.
Unless somebody gets sick.
My God. You will find me curled up in the corner in a fetal position crying. Never to move again if that happens. I think we're good. The weather's starting to change. That always helps.
It does.
So, anyway, till next week.
Yep.
We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
For me, that was like very intriguing.
That's really smart.
And so I put it in the cart, and then I walked away, and then I was like, well, they're gonna sell out right away. And they didn't. And I came back a few hours later, and it was still there. I waited a few more hours, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it because I can do the Planet thing on my credit card, so I can actually pay it out in payments, and it doesn't ship till like November, so it won't come for so I can basically pay it off
By the time it
shows up.
Yep.
And so then I can feel less guilty about it. And I did the math, and it's basically the equivalent of 5 full skeins of yarn because it's 25 mini skeins.
Okay.
So when you do that math, you're like, yep, that's why it's the price it is.
Yeah.
So,
and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because...
And from what I've heard, those mini skeins are a pain in the behind to do to dye versus a regular full-size skein.
that's what a lot of dyers have said, that it's just so much easier just to dye,
Full skeins.
full skeins than a little.
And the yarn shenanigans continue.
Oh dear.
No, it's just some stitches fell off. I can't imagine why. It's not like that bag doesn't get just chucked around everywhere because it's zipped on the top, so why would you be careful with it?
That's the thing. Like, I love zipper bags for that reason, because you can just throw them in your car and not have to worry about stuff spilling out, but at the same time everything in your bag goes...
Yes. And I currently have multiple projects in that bag.
I think all of my pinkness is throwing the color off on the camera.
Sometimes when it plays back, the color's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I thought. I don't know what the deal is. Who knows?
It's probably me.
So we should probably talk about the yarn shenanigans in the outtakes.
Okay.
Because everybody's going to want to know. Since I teased everybody on Instagram yesterday with the mohair. So I got home on Friday.
And I promptly received a text from Angela.
She did. It wasn't long. I actually was already partway into a really substantial size glass of wine when I sent you that text. So my darling dog had gone upstairs in the house, which is fine. She's allowed up there. She was in her bed's upstairs. But
so for anybody who's kind of new to the podcast, she's a lab mix, and she's under the age of 2.
Yes. Yes. She's quite possibly could be full-blooded lab. So that comes with its own challenges. So in the evenings, after I put my kids to bed, I have like a rocking chair in my bedroom, and I sit in the rocking chair and I put Netflix on my iPad and put headphones in, and I sit and knit for like an hour before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. So I usually have an upstairs project that just stays, so I'm not carrying projects back and forth. That's the project that I'm working on upstairs at night. And it happened to be my blackberry shawl. And so it was sitting on so when I get done, I put everything back into the project bag, and I set the project bag on my dresser. So not on the floor, it's up out of the way. So while I was gone at work, the dog grabbed the project bag, took it downstairs, and proceeded to remove everything from the project bag and apparently play and chew on it. The only upside that I see here is that the project bag was not zippered, or I probably would be down a project bag too. So I hadn't closed the zipper on the project bag. So it was a project with fingering weight and mohair. The mohair was completely destroyed. There was no saving it. It wasn't just the picture. It's kind of hard to tell. It wasn't just a tangled mess. It had actually been bitten through and shredded. So there was just pieces of mohair. There was no saving it. Yeah. So it went away in the garbage. I was lucky enough to be able to get in touch with the dyer who did the yarn, to find out if she had any, or if she was going to be dyeing any, or if she wasn't, when she dyed some next, could she just let me know? I kind of explained to her what had happened. And she amazingly, so it was Liz from Kingdom Fleece and Fiberworks, who's local to us here, said, well, she's like, I'm getting my dye pot set up right now. She goes, I'll get you a skein dyed and get it to you. So I have my replacement skein that I just skeined up. It arrived yesterday. Super fast shipping. And I'd calmed down enough to find the humor in posting about the mohair incident. The project, for the most part, survived, so here it is. So it's still... There's a couple drop stitches I have to fix when I go through the next row. But I discovered a couple of other fun things after I looked at the project a little more closely, which was this needle is bent. It's not really supposed to look like that, and we're sort of yeah, it's not ergonomic. That's not really how it's supposed to be. So now I'm the proud owner of another pair of US 6 tips. Because apparently, I'm trying to see if that's got bent too. I don't think so. Guess I'll find out soon enough. I think that the cord might have gotten chewed on because it has a few rough patches to it. They're what are probably teeth marks. So I may have to replace the cord as well. Probably the safe thing to do would be, because that's not even screwing back on there, would be to put my new tips on a new cord and just knit it off of this and just get rid of it, because
it'll frustrate you if it catches, especially once you
when
get
I get to the mohair, it'll just catch. Yep. So I was kind of feeling those, and then I had a few pulled stitches that I had to sort of work back in the lace section of this. So the dog's still with us. I was joking, I've been trying to give her away all week, and nobody seems to want a 17-month-old lab dog puppy. Can't imagine why. No, this shall pass. It's a phase for this breed of dog. It's fine. And she's been at doggy daycare all week, so I'm sure she is much happier. She gets to run around and play with her doggy friends and get really tired out. So yeah, there's some weird stuff like that I like, where you can see like stitches got pulled a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. It's a little wonky. Yeah. To figure out what that is. I think it's just the stitches. Yeah, stitches just got pulled. So there's a few things like that I have to kind of perform a little knitting surgery on. But all in all, remarkably little damage. Both skeins of the fingering weight yarn, although now thoroughly covered in dog and cat hair because they were rolled around on the floor.
Probably some dog slobber.
And some dog slobber. Seem to have survived.
Nothing a little wash won't fix, when you get it
So
done.
still intact, which is sort of 2 thumbs up. So this one's ready to get back rolling again. It was put on hiatus, well, because I was out of the mohair, and I frankly was just so discouraged. If I wasn't able to get the mohair, I wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do, whether I was gonna try to start it again or switch to a different mohair color and just call it a design element. So luckily I didn't have to get to that point. Make that decision. So anyway, so that's my sad mohair story. And yes, somebody did comment that mohair does not seem to do well in my house. This is the second mohair incident in like a month or two. What can I say? I make bad choices? I don't know. But it's yeah, that's fine. It's just part of having animals.
Yep.
Sometimes they eat things you don't want them to eat, or get into things you don't want them to get into. And it is just yarn, so even if I couldn't have gotten another skein, I would have figured something out.
Right.
Would have been fine. So that's all. I have some other things that happened too, but I'll get into them when we talk about works in progress. So it's been a really fun knitting week in my house. Woo woo. Yep. Good times, right? Good times.
Yeah. It happens.
I know. So should we get this podcast started? Oh, you know what I know we should do in the outtakes?
What's that?
We should do the MLY Meerkat prizes in the outtakes, because this is where this all started.
Right.
So it feels a little weird because it's kind of like out of order because we filmed this first.
I know.
It's fine. All right, so we're going to give some prizes away for our hashtag MLY Meerkat.
Because we've been talking about it.
Yep. So this is an Instagram game, and this is related to the Pocket Meerkat, which is this guy. So we still have a bunch of these, and the way you can get Pocket Meerkats from us is if you're placing an order with us, just in the comments say I'd like a Pocket Meerkat, and we'll just pop one into your order.
Yep.
If you're at a place or don't have the ability to place an order with us, if you send us an email to hello@muscleofyarn.com, we can send you a invoice for a small amount to send you the Pocket Meerkat, which is mostly shipping. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we'd love to get you one and have you play along. So it tells you on the back like how to enter and what you need to do to enter. So we have a ton of very creative Pocket Meerkat folks. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't gone over to check out the hashtag or follow the hashtag, I would recommend that you do it because some of them are hysterical. Mm-hmm. So it was really hard to do prizes for this first go around. So make it harder for us or me because anyway. We have a couple of very well-traveled Pocket Meerkats. So Bonnie Sue's Pocket Meerkat. Mm-hmm. So she's Bonnie Sue 2003. Bonnie. Her Pocket Meerkat has gone all over the place, including a cruise. I think all over the U.S., Europe, maybe. Lots of different places. And she's got some pretty funny posts from her travels. And Jilly Gale 54, who's Gail, also has a very well-traveled meerkat, Pocket Meerkat. Mm-hmm. So that's always super fun to see where Pocket Meerkat's popping up.
I know, we have a few that live in Europe, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've sent some overseas. Pocket Meerkats everywhere. Mm-hmm. Watch out. So, all right. So, but I picked two that were sort of my favorites. So this is sort of podcaster's choice at this point. I'm going to start with...
This is Angela's game, so she can do it.
Yeah, I know. I make all the rules. So our first prize is going to be this beautiful skein of Madeline Tosh. And it is her Twist Light. So it's a 75-25 merino nylon blend. It's a 420 yard skein. And the colorway is Spectrum. So, and to go with the prize is a CD. Yeah, we still actually have CDs for some stuff. So this is Hotbox Honey is the band, local band to us, who generously allows us to use their music for our theme music to the podcast. Mm-hmm. So the first track on this CD, Girl with a Green Vespa, I think you will recognize it if you pop the CD in a CD player. But it does have words because the actual song has words to it. Ours is just the instrumental version. So, but I'm friends with the folks who have this band, and their music's great, and I think you will enjoy it. If you enjoy our theme music, you'll enjoy this music. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so we're popping in a CD to go with that. And so this prize is going to go to Jen Stack Knits a Lot, which is Jen. And Jen had a very funny post from Needles Up where Pocket Meerkat was coming out of her bag from Needles Up. And she suggested that Pocket Meerkat should perhaps get a job washing dishes to earn more money for yarn to use the next day at Rhinebeck. So that Pocket Meerkat wouldn't have to engage in perhaps some less than savory activities to earn money. You can use your imagination as to what those would be. But, so Jen, this prize is for you. So shoot us an email or message us, probably Kelly.
I think I have Jen's.
Oh, you probably have Jen's.
Info.
Okay.
Yeah. Jen comes up and visits us at the store.
Yes, she does, doesn't she? Maybe just message us anyway so we know you saw. So this doesn't just like randomly show up in the mail and you're like, what the heck is this? Just shoot us a message, let us know you saw, confirm that we have your right mailing address, and we'll get this in the mail to you.
Sweet.
Yes. All right, so the second prize, we're doing two prizes today. Again, the Hotbox Honey CD. And I also have this lovely small bag. It's probably more of like a Notions bag from Utterly Adorable Knits with this great fabric. And there's also a needle minder in there. So, and this prize is going to go to the lady who is sharing with us the dangers of living in a household with a toddler. And my friend, I hear you, because it is dangerous.
I actually commented on her post.
For many reasons. This particular post was poor Pocket Meerkat looking up at us from the bottom of her toilet because her toddler felt that she needed to go for a swim. Hopefully Pocket Meerkat survived.
She said it, surprisingly, the plastic or whatever the material is that they're printed on held up remarkably well.
I will have to relay that to the person that we got Pocket Meerkats from to let him know that those will survive a trip in the toilet. In a swirly. Fantastic. All right, so you probably already know who you are and are hopefully laughing along with us. But for the rest of you, it's EMJ83, so Marie Jose?
I think so.
Marie Jose from Ottawa, one of our Canadian friends. So your posts are always hysterical. I totally love them, but I'm sorry, the toilet was the creme de la creme of the whole lot of them. But all of your posts deserve gold stars. And an afternoon without a toddler. So I, can't help you with that one, but I can at least send you some stuff. So please message us with your address and we will get this out to you. So thanks everyone for playing. Keep playing. Mm-hmm. It's super fun and we're enjoying it a lot.
We are.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So now we can start the podcast.
Oh, right. I was
20
like, and wrapping it up.
And wrapping it up. 20 minutes in, we're going to start the actual podcast.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. We usually do potted fries at the end of the podcast. We decided to do them in the outtakes.
Which for Pocket Meerkat makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Because it was an outtake. Born in the outtakes.
Yes, she was.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. We should probably get on with the real thing. Okay.